Welcome to the DCPS Early Childhood Active Supervision Training. In our early childhood classrooms, active supervision is the foundation of both safety and meaningful engagement. It is how we ensure that every child is not only protected, but also fully supported in their learning and development. At DC Public Schools, we hold a clear goal. 100% of children are monitored 100% of the time. This training will equip you with the tools and strategies to meet that goal with confidence and consistency. By the end of this course, you will be able to define active supervision and explain its key components. Apply core strategies, including scanning and counting, positioning, and engagement. Make informed decisions in complex supervision scenarios that require quick thinking and sound judgment. You will also explore realistic classroom and playground situations and use tools such as the face-to-name checklist to strengthen your awareness and accountability practices. Your role in protecting and supporting our youngest learners is essential. Thank you for your dedication. Let's get started. In this first section, we will explore what active supervision is and also take a look at what can happen when it is not being used. Active supervision is the foundation of both safety and learning in early childhood classrooms. In the DCPS Early Childhood Education Division, we define active supervision as the intentional, constant attention to children's behavior, location, and needs at all times. The goal is clear. 100% of children are monitored, 100% of the time. Whether inside the classroom, transitioning through hallways, or playing outside, every child must be actively supervised by a responsible adult. At DCPS, all staff working in early childhood classrooms and playgrounds are required to follow active supervision strategies, including scanning and counting, positioning, and engaging with children. The implementation of these strategies prevents incidents and ensures children are safe and supported throughout the day. When staff do not consistently use active supervision, serious risks can occur. Examples include elopement, where a child leaves the classroom or playground unnoticed, injury from unsafe materials or equipment that children access without adult awareness, unsafe interactions between children that escalate before staff can intervene, emotional distress when a child becomes upset or dysregulated and no adult notices, and choking or allergic reactions, particularly during meal or snack times when staff are not attentively observing. These incidents are preventable, but only when supervision is active, not passive. Active supervision must be intentional, consistent, and shared among all adults in the environment. Every staff member plays a critical role in protecting children's well-being and preventing harm. Now that we have learned about what active supervision is and what can happen when it is not being used, we will explore the 3 core active supervision strategies in the next sections. The 3 core active supervision strategies include scanning and counting, staff positioning, and engaging and redirecting. The first core strategy in active supervision is scanning and counting. This means making continual visual sweeps of the environment while frequently counting the number of children in your care. It is not a one-time task, but it is a constant, intentional practice that ensures every child is accounted for, every moment of the day. So when should you be scanning and counting? The answer is all day long, but it is especially critical during the following times. Arrival. This is the time when children are entering and adjusting to the classroom at the start of the day. Transitions. This is a time when children are moving between activities, spaces, or routines. Scanning and counting should happen at the beginning and ending of each transition. Center time. This is a time when children are spread across different areas of the room. Outdoor play. This is a high-energy time with increased movement and risk. And dismissal. This is the time when children are picked up and leaving with caregivers. It is important to remember that the goal of scanning and counting is to proactively identify potential concerns before they become incidents, and to also ensure that there is an accurate number of children present under your supervision throughout the day. To support scanning and counting, DCPS early childhood classrooms use a critical tool called the face-to-name chart. This chart should list each child's name and include their picture. The face-to-name chart should be used to verify that each child is present and in sight. It is especially helpful during transitions, outdoor play, and any moment when the group is moving from one activity or space to another. It supports accurate attendance tracking and keeps student accountability front and center. Staff should have a procedure for indicating when the child goes somewhere in the building, such as to OT or pull-out services. The best practice is to have one chart that is constantly with the class so that staff can ensure it is always marked, instead of having several different face-to-name charts. Each early childhood school team should create their face-to-name supervision system by the end of the second week of school. School teams should work with their early childhood instructional specialist or early childhood cluster support manager to design the face-to-name supervision system. How should you use the face-to-name supervision system? Each day, as each student arrives, staff should mark that student present on the face-to-name chart. Students who are absent should be marked as absent on the face-to-name chart. Whenever a child leaves the group, to go home or to go to the nurse or elsewhere, staff should note this on the chart. Any staff member, including specials teachers, who are supporting the children can update the face-to-name chart anytime a student joins or leaves the group. Throughout the day, staff should check the chart and count the children to make sure that all children who should be present are present and accounted for. Before every transition, staff should use the chart to check that every child is present and in line. Staff should continue this, checking during the transition and when they arrive at their destination. The face-to-name chart should be updated throughout the year to reflect students who have newly enrolled or left the program. If staff members use this strategy consistently, we will never have a situation in which a child becomes lost. When should the face-to-name system be used? Early childhood staff should use the face-to-name system periodically throughout the day and other critical times. Face-to-name supervision systems should be used during transitions out of the classrooms, such as to the library or PE, on the playground, during fire or emergency drills, and during field trips. The face-to-name chart should be updated anytime a child enters or leaves the classroom. Now that we have discussed the first core active supervision strategy, we will now discuss the second core active supervision strategy, which is staff positioning. Staff positioning is the strategic placement of teachers and support staff to ensure full visual coverage of all children in the learning environment, both indoors and outdoors. As part of proper positioning, staff should use sight and sound supervision at all times. This means that staff must maintain constant awareness of every child's location and activity. Children must never be left alone under any circumstances. In classroom settings, staff should position themselves where they can see all areas of the room. In bathrooms, appropriate sight and sound supervision means standing in the bathroom doorway or just inside the bathroom, maintaining the ability to hear and see movement within the stalls, ensuring children's feet are visible under the stall, and promptly checking when a child is taking longer than expected. If it is necessary to use the hallway bathroom, for example, when children are in PE or outside on the playground, the following precautions should be taken. First, prior to allowing any pre-K student to use the hallway bathroom, one staff member should check the bathroom to ensure that there are not any safety hazards. Second, the bathroom should also be checked to ensure that there are not any older children or adults in the bathroom. During transitions, which includes children walking to other parts of the building or to the playground, children should always be accompanied by 2 adults. One adult should be positioned at the front of the line and the second adult should be positioned at the back of the line. One of the adults should always carry the face-to-name checklist with them during every transition. Effective positioning begins with thoughtful planning. When deciding where to position yourself and your educational aid, please take the following into consideration. The layout of the classroom. supervision needs around bathrooms and changing areas, and the use of zones both inside the classroom and out on the playground. Let's start with classroom zoning. The room should be divided into clear, manageable supervision zones, such as dramatic play, blocks, art, or library. Each adult should be assigned or move between zones to ensure that every area is supervised at all times. This prevents crowding in one area and lack of coverage in another. Avoid blind spots. Classroom furniture should be arranged to allow clear sight lines across the room. High bookshelves, tall storage units, or large furniture placed in the center of the space can create hidden areas where children may be unsupervised. Rearranging furniture to create open visibility is a key part of effective supervision. Equally important is circulation. Teachers and aides should be able to move freely around the classroom or playground without being blocked by furniture or groups of children. Circulation allows staff to remain engaged, redirect behavior, and respond quickly if needed, all while maintaining supervision. Outdoors, staff should also use a zoning system. A supervision zoning system on the playground means dividing the playground into clearly defined areas, such as the climbing structure, slide, and swings. Each adult is then assigned to actively supervise a specific zone. When staff are assigned to a specific zone, it eliminates confusion and ensures that every part of the playground is covered. It helps reduce blind spots and ensures that staff are positioned to see, hear, and respond to children quickly on the playground. Before outdoor play begins, teaching teams should review their zones, clarify roles, and be ready to rotate positions as needed to stay alert. By implementing zoning on the playground, early childhood teams take a thoughtful and organized approach to playground safety. Now that we have discussed the second core active supervision strategy, we will discuss the third core active supervision strategy, which is engaging and redirecting. Engaging and redirecting means that teachers are not just watching children, but they are actively observing, listening, and interacting with them in ways that prevent problems and promote learning. This strategy supports both safety and social-emotional development. It includes tuning into what children are doing, saying, and feeling, a practice we refer to as demonstrating a regard for children's perspective. When teachers are truly engaged, they notice when a child is bored, when a peer conflict is starting, or when a child is wandering away, and they respond in ways that redirect the behavior and re-engage the child meaningfully. When a child is observed doing something unsafe, such as climbing on furniture or using materials improperly, staff should respond immediately and calmly. Use positive language to guide the child toward a safer alternative. Let's look at what engaging and redirecting can look like in action. Redirecting a child who starts to throw blocks to a safer building activity. Joining a group of children in pretend play to model cooperation and language. Re-engaging a child who begins to wander by offering them a role in an activity, and listening and responding to a child's feelings to prevent frustration and escalation. When done well, engaging and redirecting doesn't just stop problems, it prevents them. It also strengthens relationships, encourages independence, and keeps the learning environment productive and safe. Congratulations on successfully completing the DCPS Active Supervision Training for early childhood educators. Your role is essential in creating safe, nurturing, and engaging learning environments for our youngest learners. By staying alert, responsive, and proactive, you help ensure that 100% of children are monitored 100% of the time, in every space, and during every moment. Let's take a moment to review the key takeaways from this course. Active supervision means intentional, constant attention to children's behavior, location, and needs. The 3 core strategies are scanning and counting, which means visually sweeping and counting children frequently. Positioning, which means standing where you can see all children and avoid blind spots. And engaging and redirecting, which means proactively interacting to prevent problems and promote learning. Use tools like the face-to-name checklist to support accountability. Critical supervision times include arrival, transitions, center time, outdoor play, and dismissal. Active supervision prevents serious incidents such as elopement, injury, and conflict. Every adult in the classroom and playground shares responsibility. As you return to your classroom, remember, active supervision is not a one-time action. It is every moment, every child, every time. Stay alert, stay engaged, and continue being the reason children are safe, seen, and supported. Now that you have learned about early childhood active supervision practices, it is time to put your knowledge to the test. In the following assessment, you will work through real-world scenarios that reflect common early childhood supervision challenges. For each question, think carefully about how you would respond to ensure that every child remains safe, accounted for, and actively engaged. Follow the link on the screen or scan the QR code on screen to access the final assessment. Thank you for your commitment to early childhood education.